Hey guys, welcome back to another flashlight review, and this here is the NLIGHTD L3. Haven't reviewed any of these flashlights before. It's a new brand, I guess, here on the channel, and this is a flashlight brand made by Neal from Nealsgadgets, and it's an incredibly powerful compact thrower, delivers up to 1,600 lumens, 580 meters of range, and the earlier version of the L3 actually had an LEP module. It's still available. This one still offers decent range and also, produces spills, so it's going to be more of a practical option for most. And there's that SFT-25R down the bezel, and let's just go through a really quick demo of this light. So basically, switch on. Okay, there is memory, so you've got to wait about 3 seconds or so. You switch back on, and there you go. You've got that moonlight mode on. So basically, if you half press, it's a forward clicky. You've got 5 different levels. Okay, and then you just press to lock in. It's a pretty simple kind of UI, and you've got these also tritium slots here on the back. There's one just on the tail switch as well. And yeah, this light comes in a variety of different metals and finishes, so you can get it in titanium. This is the polished version here. You also get it in stonewash. There's aluminium, different types of anodized versions. I think there's a micro arc oxidation version as well, and there's also a copper version of this light, which is going to be a little bit heavier, but yeah, great heat dissipation. So in terms of what you get in the box, it's pretty basic. This is the box itself, and if you look very closely, it sort of tells you which version you have. You can also get the 5000K SFT-25R if you want. And there's no battery that's included unless you buy one yourself from Neal's shop. Do get this 18350 tube as well. It actually came installed first. I've just swapped that into an 18650 tube. You get this replaceable rubber switch as well. So some people apparently don't like the metal switch. I mean, I absolutely love them. They're just, I don't know, they feel more sturdy, more stable, and kind of fits in with the aesthetic of the light itself. And you get a couple of spare O-rings, and that's pretty much it. Pretty bare bones. Okay, so here are a bunch of other flashlights in my collection, and as you can see, I'm a big Convoy collector, and I've got the Convoy M21B here to the right. I thought this would be pretty much the perfect sort of comparison, that and the Convoy M1. I think these pretty much approximate the size of the NLIGHTD L3, more so the M21B, but yeah, the bezel is slightly smaller on the NLIGHTD L3. As you can see, actually kind of similar maybe to the M1 slash, yeah, to the M1. But yeah, the tube, as you can see, it's a little bit thinner. It sort of tapers in a bit compared to the M21B. It needs to be larger to accommodate that 21700 cell. That's your Convoy M1. It still has a larger bezel, and the Convoy S8. This is the 18350 battery tube. Just screws in like that. Pretty simple with the tail, and you can see it reduces the length of this light down significantly, but you still have that slightly larger bezel, which is necessary for that range. If you want, like a long range beam, I mean, you can still get it done with, say, the Convoy S8, but if you really want something that's going to perform and have some decent heat sinking, I think the larger bezel size, you can't avoid that. Alrighty, so here is a little close-up of the NLIGHTD L3, and as you can see, it's pretty high quality construction. It's got that CNC machine body and a sleek kind of taper effect towards the battery tube, the inner part of the battery tube, and I really like this minimalistic and elegant design. The head is 33 millimeters in diameter. Total length with the 18650 tube is 140 millimeters. With the 18350 tube, you're sitting close to 111 millimeters. The titanium version that I have here comes in this polished finish. You can also get the stone washed version, and I think that's better if you get bugged by these little fingerprints and stuff. It does get a little bit grubby after a while. You can just wipe them off, they don't stay, and there's no knurling at all on the body, as you can see, so the bare metal is going to feel a little slippery. Light is rated at IP68 waterproof and drop resistant to 1.5 meters. So yeah, like I was saying before, this tail cap supports tritium vials, and you could, I mean, there's a few different things you could do here. You could add in, say, 7 larger tubes, the 12mm tubes, or you can add in some, multiple 6mm tubes. So you could have 2 different 6mm tubes in each area here if you want like different colors. And the tail cap there does have a slot for a 6mm tube vial. So the NLIGHTD L3 is operated completely through this metal forward tail switch on the rear, and there's a deep carry steel clip, and it's attached right to the body by a couple of screws there. You can take that out or replace it with another one if you want. And as you know, it takes both an 18650 and 18350 cell, just depending on which extension tube you use. There's no built-in charging on this flashlight, so yeah, you're going to need also a good 6 amp plus cell, so something like a VAP cell N40 or an M11. It's pretty recommended if you want to get an 18350 cell. And if you're looking for a high drain 18650 cell, there's quite a few options out there. I've got the Molicel M35A that I'll be using for this flashlight that's rated at 10 amp draw. Alrighty, here's a little look down the bezel, and you can see that SFT-25R sitting down the base there, perfectly round die surface, which makes for a great throwy LED. And yeah, basically the one I have is rated at 6500K. Like I said, you can get it in 5000K. You just need to select on the website. And yeah, this is an LED that's optimized for long range, so you're not going to get a huge amount of spill, but just enough so that you can see what's going on around you. And you've got a glass lens there. It's recessed into the bezel, and the bezel is non-crenulated. Everything can be opened up pretty easy as well. So as you can see, you can just take it off, and if you want to mod the light, things like that, it's pretty simple. Okay, so let's go through the UI. And basically, when you half press the flashlight, you get 5 different modes. So it's basically, you've got moonlight, low, medium, high, and then turbo, and you can full press to lock that in. There is also memory mode. You need to wait a few seconds for it to click in. Okay, see, if you're too quick, it just goes to the next mode. There is also a hidden function mode, basically. So if you half press 5 times and click on the 5th press, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So it basically just locks onto this 1000 lumen mode. So that's rated at 457 meters of range as well. So yeah, for those of you who just want like a more simple UI and isn't going to get too hot, because the turbo mode is another 600 lumens. I think this is a pretty cool option. You can just reverse that by doing the same thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Takes a bit of practice. So I ran a bunch of ceiling bounce tests with the NLIGHTD L3 SFT-25R, and this is the turbo mode, and you can see we get about 30 seconds of runtime with the light between 90 and 100%, but it does step down quite quickly, and you can see by the 2-minute mark you're sitting on just below 50%, and on the about 3-minute mark you're on about a third of output. Here is a second ceiling bounce test, and I put this on the hide mode, so the one that I demonstrated before, 1000 lumens. It's like the one mode kind of UI, and you can see here you get about a minute of runtime on that 1000 lumen mode before it steps down to about 80%. Get another minute, and at the 2-minute mark you're sitting on about 50% output. I ran a third ceiling bounce test on the high mode, so 650 lumens, and here you get 2 minutes of runtime on high before it steps down to just below 80% output. So I also ran a series of tests with my Audible Lightmaster Pro. You can see the table here, and pause the video if you want to have a look at all the individual specs. But yeah, basically on turbo you can see I got 607 meters of range with the 18650 battery, and with a 10 amp 18350 battery I got 569 meters of range. So it's actually like pretty similar, because again that battery is rated at 10 amps. For some reason it wasn't as high, so yeah, it might have just been that that battery had higher resistance. Okay, so I want to talk about a bunch of limitations and user considerations that you might have if you're thinking about buying this flashlight, just some of my observations. And the first one is that there's not a huge amount of flood or spill compared to other LEDs. So this isn't a, necessarily a floody kind of LED. If you want something like that, you probably get the XHB 50.3. But yeah, this beam is optimized for long range use. It's going to project a nice, intense hotspot, but it's still going to be usable as a walking light on lower modes. Okay, it's just that when you're using it on the higher modes up close, it's really going to be too intense to look at. And yeah, I know the SFT-25R version is not going to throw anywhere near as far as the LEP version of this light, which is rated at, I believe, 1.3 kilometers, pretty insane. But the SFT-25R version is more affordable and also more practical because it actually produces, a bit of spill and a large hotspot as well. So I also have a few little observations and comments about the UI. The mode memory takes a few seconds to kick in, and I think it just would have been better if it kicked in at 1 second, just so that you don't accidentally go into some other mode too quickly. I also found that I accidentally set the light to the hide mode a couple of times while half pressing. I like that you can use that one mode hide UI as a tactical mode, like a 1000 lumen tactical mode, but yeah, it's still not foolproof, as you might accidentally kind of set it back to the normal 5 mode UI. The third consideration is that this titanium model, although it looks and feels pretty awesome, it does get quite hot in the head on the turbo mode. So something to keep in mind if you are worried about heat sinking and just the heat produced by this light. I'd recommend getting the aluminium or copper version just for better heat dissipation. And yeah, the aluminium model as well, probably worthwhile mentioning, is also less than half the price of this titanium one, so it's much better value. The fourth consideration is that you're going to need an external charger in order to charge this battery. You're going to have to buy batteries as well. So yeah, that's just something some people don't like. For beginners, you probably want something that has a USB port there so you can charge the light. But if you're looking for one of these one-piece, more durable flashlights, then yeah, you're gonna have to do away with that USB-C port. Often that's like a weak spot on the flashlight. If you drop it, you can damage the driver, water can get inside, that sort of thing. So another few thoughts I had about the batteries. So the NLIGHTD L3 will only fit an unprotected 18350 cell, and protected cells will work, but they're just a touch too long. So basically that means the head or the tail's not going to screw in completely. You're going to have like a bit of a gap there. It's really not ideal. So yeah, I'm using this, what is it here? It's a Wuben cell that I took out from my X0 that fits perfectly, but yeah, protected cells, like I said, are not going to do well, especially if you've got a protected cell that has a USB-C charging port in them. I mean, when I'm traveling, I like to use them so I don't have to carry around an external charger. The battery tube is also a little chunky. So if you have a look at this one here, just the 18650 tube, the 18350 is pretty much the same on the inside as well. The walls are unusually thick, and yeah, if it was hollowed out more and maybe lengthened, could probably accommodate a 21700 cell. But yeah, I mean, 18650 is fine given the SFT-25R doesn't need that much current, and the reinforced walls also make this light a lot more durable. Overall, the NLIGHTD L3 SFT-25R version is one of the best compact and high-performing long-range EDC flashlights available, especially if you're looking for something that looks and feels a little bit fancier than a Convoy M1 or M2, and also comes with a variety of different metals and finishes. It's rugged, has this customizable tritium slots here on the back, and is ideal for searching, like a spotlight as well. You can also use it as a walking light, like I mentioned before, in the lower modes. And I do like the tactical style design with the tail switch there. And it's good that it has a decent range of lower output modes as well, so you can use it indoors or as a short range flashlight. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you have any questions? I'll get back to you as well, just comment below. If you're interested in getting one of these, go ahead and check the link in the video description, and I'll put a discount voucher there as well. If you enjoy the video, do me a big favor, click the like button and share it with someone who might be interested in my channel. It just helps me to get my videos out to more people. And if you want to see more flashlight reviews and keep up to date with the latest flashlight news, make sure you subscribe. NLIGHTD L3 with the SFT-25R. This is the lowest mode, not really visible on camera. Let's cycle through. Okay, so there's basically moonlight, and there's a bunch of these steps going up. So there's moonlight, 1, 2, 3, moonlight, 1, 2, 3, 4, moonlight, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the highest mode. Jeez. Yeah, that large reflector really makes a difference. There's very few lights that I have in my collection, LED lights anyway, of this size that can reach those tree trunks and illuminate everything around those tree trunks as well. Normally a lot of throwers can make the trunks stand out, but you're not really able to see what's around them. The moonlight's really not even visible on camera, but that's the first step, second step, third step, fourth step, okay, which is the last one. And there's also a 1000 lumen mode, so that's it. It's 1000 lumen mode, which is very similar to the highest mode. You basically have to tap 5 times and press on the 5th. And there we go, back to the normal stepping mode. So that's first step, second step, third step. Even the third step's pretty good. And the fourth step. Moonlight, 1, 2, 3, 4. A decent amount of spill as well. Let me just pull out the Convoy. I've got a Convoy S8 with the SFT-25R on the right. Okay. And we'll compare them side by side. So NLIGHTD L3 to the left, and the Convoy S8 with the SFT-25R. So it's definitely... There we go. Yeah, you definitely get a bit more range with the NLIGHTD L3 with the SFT-25R. I mean, it's not surprising given that the head is a lot larger, but look at them up close. You can see the... Let's have a look. Really step down pattern now. I mean, even after a little bit, you can still see the NLIGHTD L3 is outperforming. It's getting pretty hot though, and it is a chilly night. Now I've got the titanium version. It looks like it's stepped down slightly though. So now it's kind of similar. Yes, very similar sort of overall performance to the Convoy S8 now with the SFT-25R. Let's just like put them back into the turbo mode again. Yeah, definitely when they're both back on the 100% mode, the NLIGHTD L3 outperforms by a decent margin. Just got a larger reflector. I'll go for a little walk.
I'm just going to put the NLIGHTD L3 on the 1000 lumen mode and then compare it to the Convoy S8 with the 100% mode. So NLIGHTD L3 to the left and the Convoy to the right. So at the moment the Convoy is maybe a touch, not really, it's quite similar. It's almost, maybe when it starts off the Convoy is a little bit brighter, but as you can see they kind of approximate each other now. And when you do that little trick with the NLIGHTD L3, we just press the tail 5 times and click on the 5th time, or half press 5 times and click on the 5th press. This is the only mode that you can access then. It's kind of like a hidden UI mode that excludes all the other modes, and it's almost as bright as the turbo mode. So I think it's a good option if you just want a very simple UI. I mean, it is outperforming the Convoy actually by just a smidge. Larger reflector. And hotspot does look a little tighter. Let's try again. Both on. Yeah, the NLIGHTD L3 is outperforming even on that 1000 lumen mode. So yeah, what do you know? It's pretty impressive. And if you want better heat dissipation, I'd recommend getting the aluminium version rather than the titanium version that I have. That's getting pretty toasty at the moment. NLIGHTD L3. That's the highest mode. You can see the tinting the trees all the way in the back there in the distance. There's a big one in the front, but it's getting the ones all the way in the back. And let's just go through the other modes. It's like the level 1, level 2, and this is excellent for kind of mid-range use. Even this is fine, like a low 2. Jeez. So moonlight, level 1, level 2, level 3, and turbo. It's almost too much for short range use, but you do get a fair bit of spill. I'll go for a walk